Terence Crawford is too good. He's too tough. He's just too good for Manny Pacquiao. Welcome to another edition of Coffee with the Goose. Glad to have you aboard once again. I am the Goose. You know, we talk about things that are interesting, fascinating, and irritating, and I'm irritated. And I'll tell you why here in just a minute. Gotta have a little caffeine, though, as you know, my coffee. Very strong, like my opinion. Got some creamer in there to make it sweet, just like me. All right. Going to talk boxing. We're going to talk Manny Pacquiao and his, hopefully, next opponent, Terence Crawford. It hasn't been signed yet. It's not official, even though some of my fellow YouTubers, oh, it's official, it's signed. No, it's not. No, it's not. Settle down, okay? Hopefully it is, or it will be soon. The word is from Bob Arum and Top Rank that they will fight, or talks are progressing, that the two will fight for a share of the World Welterweight Championship in Abu Dhabi on June 5th. Abu Dhabi, of course, is the capital of United Arab Emirates. Why not in the U.S. or elsewhere? Well, it's money. It's always money. Don't forget that. And that's probably the reason they haven't fought yet, is in the past, that is because for all his skills and his record and his toughness and all that, Terence Crawford up until now is just not a big pay-per-view draw. Okay. But I think the more people talk about this potential matchup, I think we're starting to see the interest pick up a little bit. And I really think if Pacquiao takes on Terence Crawford, that it's going to be a close to a mega fight. I think it really will be. Anyhow, the subject today is, come on, it's this not even fair. I don't even know why they're talking about it. Terence Crawford is too good. He's too tough. He's just too good for Manny Pacquiao. That's not my opinion, okay? And again, I respect Terence Crawford, unbeaten champion, 37-0 with 28 KOs. And if you just take that on its surface, well, of course he's too good. He's unbeaten. He knocks out almost everybody. He's only been knocked down once in his career, I think. Omaha, Nebraska native. He's a tough guy. He's a real fighter. And that's all true. He's very admirable. But when you scratch the surface and look under it and really do a little research, he's not the boogeyman. He's not Godzilla, okay? But apparently, according to a few experts, he is. He's too good. The latest expert I saw on YouTube, he chimed in, and I have a lot of respect for him. He's very accomplished, and of course, that's Teddy Atlas. He's been around a long time. He actually trained on one or two of Pacquiao's opponents and came out on the short end. But here's what he has to say about Terence Crawford. And first of all, he says, oh, I love Manny Pacquiao. I respect him. He's an all-time great, blah, 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 blah. And that's true. But Terence Crawford he's too good. He reminds Teddy Atlas of Sugar Ray Leonard. He's a bulldog. He's a nasty guy. He's too good. And Pacquiao, on the other hand, when he was younger, could get away with a lot because of his natural, for the most part, his natural gifts. He could, as Teddy Atlas said, Pacquiao could run a red light and get away with it. He could do a lot of things in the ring other fighters couldn't get away with. But now as he's older, he's 42, and in his words, he's going to run that red light and he's going to crash. It's going to be a horrible accident, and bing, bam, boom, you're down for the count. Just like with Marquez. Can people get past that yet? All of us, and I'm not even going to talk about PEDs, Juan Manuel Marquez is a great fighter, Hall of Famer. The knockout that Pacquiao, was the victim of Marquez, that was 9 years ago. You people who accuse me of being a pactard, a pactroid, you just can't put it away, can you? It was done, okay? Pacquiao lost. He's lost 7 times. losing does not make you a loser. Okay, we all get knocked down in life. What makes you great and what gets you respect is getting back up and continuing the battle, right? But all of these experts I'm going to mention here, they all mention Marquez. They're the ones who can't put it away. They're the ones who look at that knockout like, see, Pacquiao, he's going to get knocked out again. It was 9 years ago, I think. Wasn't that 2012, June? Okay, anyhow. Teddy Atlas says this fight shouldn't happen. That basically Pacquiao's too old. He's not the guy he used to be. He's 42 years old. Okay, Teddy Atlas, we'll see. We'll see. By the way, Terence Crawford is not a spring chicken anymore either. He's 33, so he's not a youngster. And how many fights has he been involved in at the welterweight level? Not more than 2 or 3, I think. So he's not the monster. Come on, Teddy Atlas. Who knows what'll happen, of course. You never say never. This can never happen. That can never happen. You'll never hear me say, I just said that. You'll never hear me say that. But, of course, anything could happen. But don't tell me Terence Crawford's too good. Somebody else, and I talked about this during a show a week or two ago, but I didn't give you any quotes. Now I will. Was it First Take, I believe, is the name of the show with Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman. I enjoy watching these guys. They're both very entertaining, very knowledgeable. Neither one of them is a boxing expert, although Max Kellerman's close. Stephen A. Smith, he actually was the color announcer on one of Pacquiao's fights a year or two ago. And he showed his true colors as a boxing aficionado. He didn't say much. There's not much he could say because he doesn't know the game. But he knows enough to be on TV. And here's what he had to say about the great, the legendary, the unbeatable Terence Crawford. He said, he's a young lion. He's at another level. Pound for pound, greatest in the world. That's something I'm tired of hearing about too. Especially for a guy who's only fought a couple of times at welterweight. Quit telling me he's a pound for pound, the greatest. Beat Pacquiao. Then I'll join you in that praise. But Stephen A. Smith again said he's scared that Pacquiao will get knocked out. And again, just like Teddy Atlas, Stephen A. Smith said, I love Pacquiao. He's an all-time great. And then goes on to talk about how he isn't so great. And Max Kellerman, now you guys, and more power to you, you kind of corrected me in a way. I said Max Kellerman and Stephen A. Smith both said Pacquiao doesn't stand a chance. Okay, you said, well, only Stephen A. Smith said that. Okay, thank you. And I'll correct myself with this next statement. Max Kellerman said, Pacquiao always has a chance, but he thinks that Terence Crawford will beat him up and KO him. That's what Max Kellerman said. He respects Pacquiao, and he actually said, pound for pound, he may be the greatest in the world, I think. But Max Kellerman said, again, that Terence Crawford beats up Pacquiao and KOs him. Okay, Max Kellerman, put that on our list. I want to go back and mention you again in the future if that happens, and I don't think it'll happen. A couple of other well-known boxing, quote-unquote boxing experts chimed in on Terence Crawford's side. Bob Arum, well, this is expected. He's Terence Crawford's promoter, but he was also Pacquiao's promoter for many years. He said, and this is foolish too, that Terence Crawford would easily beat Manny Pacquiao in his prime. Now, come on, Bob Arum. I don't think, and we'll get into details later if the fight is announced, I don't think he can beat him now at the age of 42, but in his prime, no way. There's no way. Pacquiao would have eaten him up. So Bob Arum, you're way off base. And the last boxing expert, and this is kind of disappointing too, when people make such brash, paint with a broad brush statements. Jim Lampley, the great announcer, boxing announcer, said, no way. There's no way Pacquiao can beat Terence Crawford. Okay, so there you have it. 5 experts: Teddy Atlas, Stephen A. Smith, Max Kellerman, Bob Arum, Jim Lantley, and I'm sure there are others, but those are the 5 I'm going to mention during this show. All of them say Terence Crawford is just too good. He's good. There's no doubt. Too good for Pacquiao? I beg to differ. Pacquiao, almost all these people have said this. He's one of the all-time greats. He may be the greatest ever. But now, when he's 42, all of a sudden you're going back on that? Oh, well, he just can't handle this young lion. This guy's just too good for him. He's going to knock him out. Then get out of here, man. But some of you guys also said, if Pacquiao beats Crawford, then he'll be one of the all-time greats. He's already one of the all-time greats. It hasn't, what he's done already, isn't that enough for you guys? 8 division world champion, been a champion in 4 different decades, beaten more, fought more, and beaten more boxing Hall of Famers than anybody else? That's not good enough? Okay. After Pacquiao, which again, no predictions here, but if Pacquiao beats him, after that happens, we'll see when the next opponent comes along. Oh, he's too young. This guy's too good for Pacquiao. We'll see. Anyhow, I want your comments. I want to see what you guys have to say. And I know there's a couple of you who think Crawford's too good. Give me some details. Put some meat on the bones, okay? Terence Crawford is unbeaten, but he's only fought a couple times as a welterweight. So don't tell me he's going to come in and school Pacquiao and embarrass him and beat him up and knock him out. I want to hear you back it up. Give me some details, okay? And I don't think that's going to happen. Anyhow, that's my opinion. That's all we have for you this time with Coffee with the Goose. So glad you joined me again. Love talking boxing. Love talking about Manny Pacquiao and any opponents, past, present, or future. Hopefully we'll get an announcement very soon. And by the way, if this fight does take place on June 5th, it's mid to late April now. We're going to hear an announcement pretty soon. So hopefully that will be the fight that is to come. Terence Crawford, the unbeatable Terence Crawford against Manny Pacquiao. We'll see about that. That's it for this edition of Coffee with the Goose. Talk to you guys again soon, all right? Take care.